Tonight's special report and the scourge of methamphetamine addiction, which is breaking apart young families. Even though ice use is falling in Australia, more people are dying, ending up in jail or battling mental health conditions. Almost half of all prisoners have reported using the drug in the 12 months prior to being locked up. Around the same percentage diagnosed with a mental health condition have reported using it too. Around 100,000 Australians reach out for help for drug addiction every year, but it's estimated only half of that need is met. It's even harder to get into rehab if you're a single mum with a young child. But experts say helping them is vital in breaking down intergenerational addiction. Erin Park reports.
In many ways, it's a typical kid's birthday party. But there's something different about this celebration. Ira Barney and her mum Tamiki are living in a drug rehabilitation centre. They've been staying here at the Milia Ramara facility in Broome for 6 weeks, while Tamiki tries to end her addiction to methamphetamine.
It's all fun and games at first, but then I didn't realise what it could really do to a human being.
She's agreed to tell her story to try to encourage other women to get off drugs. Tamiki says she drank occasionally as a teenager, but started using meth while in a violent relationship and dealing with the sudden death of her mother.
As soon as I first tried the needle, bang, it's like my eyes, until I just realised that that drug, it really is true. It destroys families. It keeps you away from the ones you love.
In the end, it was an unplanned pregnancy that prompted Tamiki to make a life-changing decision. She packed a suitcase for her daughter and in January checked them into rehab.
I feel so right being in here. Being clean is the most best feeling ever.
The effect of methamphetamine on the fetus isn't as well documented as that of alcohol. The priority for Tamiki now is trying to minimise the harm by eating nutritious food, going for regular medical checkups and getting counselling and art therapy to help sift through the reasons that she turned to drugs in the first place. Tamiki was lucky. There are limited spots for children to stay here and she and her daughter secured ones relatively quickly. But there are few residential rehab centres across Australia that accept children at all, meaning many women, some carrying an unborn child, face a long wait for help.
Women who do want to change their drug use, we know that they do better in women's only services and they do better when they have their kids with them.
Professor Nicole Lee is a substance abuse specialist. She says women can be more complex to treat than men.
They often have had a history of trauma, either as a child or as an adult. They have a much higher prevalence of common mental health problems like anxiety and depression.
Women are also more likely to be the primary carer for children, and finding a program that will accept them is difficult. In Western Australia, for example, only 3 out of 16 residential rehab facilities accommodate children, even though many experts say pregnant women present the most critical opportunity for intergenerational change.
We're making ourselves more accessible to pregnant women because we can see the benefits, the long-term benefits.
Andrew Amor has worked in drug rehabilitation for more than 20 years and now runs the centre in Broome.
We see that kids thrive when they're here. A lot of it is because mum and dad are now focusing on them.
He says it's heartbreaking to have to turn women away.
We just don't have the capacity and the physical space to have them come to us, and so they remain in the community, and unfortunately the harm still continues.
Shana Marie Kelly used meth for 3 years. She's now close to completing her stint in rehab, accompanied by 3 of her children.
If I'm in a better place here, yeah, it helped me, help my children, you know, they're a lot happier.
Tamiki has some apprehension about returning to the outside world.
This is the mum moth. This is me. I am going to print it green onto the blue.
She's making artwork that she hopes will one day decorate the home that she'll share with her 2 children.
If you're an alcoholic and you know you're having a lot of problems, get help. It's not hard. Help is everywhere.